live?
Sounds live at the moment. So.
Oh, that's all right. I'm not in there.
Oh, that's right.
Bear with. Right, this is going to be a record-breaking quick one. Who have we got on? Jenny Fairclough. I love it how people just come on. Oops. I think I might have just cut Instagram off. I don't think I have. Jenny Fairclough has got a gold. Sue Eddowes, good morning, Sue. You've got a silver for Sue, and Caroline Blackburn has got a bronze medal. People say, how do you get the medals? Just the first 3 to comment, and you get a place on the podium. Hi, Moira. Hi, Paula. Lovely to see you. Hi, Wendy and Claire and Christine and Teresa and Hilary and Michelle and Denise and Vanessa and Jane. Good morning. Morning, Jane. And 2 Janes back to back. Who have we got on Instagram? I can't see. Ruby, good morning. And Linda, and then Limit Silver Lining. I can never work out who you are on Instagram, but hello. Right, this is a quick one. Do you know why it's got to be a quick one? And I genuinely mean it. I know I say that a lot. Hi, Billy Jane. I know I say that a lot, but I'm doing a live over in my membership tribe at 9:30. So literally, this is going to be 10 minutes. And all I've done is I've just been for a walk and I've just found my first conker on the floor. Without looking, it was just there in front of me. And you open it up and it is the most glorious sight. I put it in a field thinking it might grow into a tree. And it's just glorious. It amazes me every single autumn at this time of year because we've got a lot of conker trees at the bottom of the hill. And it really does. It just amazes me how incredible nature is, that every year they build those conkers, those green shells with the spikes on, because when you see the blossom, how it grows on the conker trees, and then the blossom turn into the little conkers, and then there's loads on each bunch, and then you have storms, then you see loads of them on the floor, but against the odds some hold on tight and manage to grow into conkers, and they drop down naturally. Because I have such fond memories of conkering when we were younger, going to the fields, because we didn't live near conker trees, but going to the fields and chucking branches up, you know, and hoping the conkers would fall down. Then you'd open them and you bake them in the oven and take them to school and make one that's 100, that's won 100 games. You're not allowed to do that anymore, are you? Bloody health and safety. It's a nonsense, honestly. Oh, conkers, oh, you might get hit on the head with a conker. But it just was the best thing, playing conkers in the schoolyard. Couldn't wait for break time and lunchtime. And they'd be like that and flip it and you're holding it up and they go, oh my God, they've got theirs. And they'd be queuing up to try and beat the unbeaten one, you know. Jen, I found out if you put conkers under the bed or hide behind things, it gets rid of spiders. They don't like the smell. Well, a minute, fancy that. I never knew that, Jane. So why do you have spiders in your bed, behind your bed? What an awful thought. I might not sleep tonight now, Jane. So, but do you notice, I could have just walked past that conker on the floor, and it's all to do with just being present. And so today, I like giving a little mini challenge every day. You've probably forgotten what yesterday's is. I'd like you just to notice stuff. And Now Is the Time by Patrick Lindsay. Look how knackered this book is. I'm going to take that off now, haven't I? Now Is the Time by Patrick Lindsay. Hard to get hold of this. Now is the time to listen to the bird song. So whether you're in the wilderness or in the big smoke, Si, you're making a lot of noise. Can you just, Si?
Yeah.
Can you just shut this door? You're making a lot of noise.
Oh, sorry.
Tell you, he's rattling around in that bloody thing. He's counted loads of Nancy's loose change because she needs some money. So she messaged yesterday. So, right, listen to the bird song. Whether you're in the wilderness or in the big smoke, listen for the songs of birds. Somehow, somewhere, they will be near you. They offer a sign of optimism, of the rhythm of nature, of the triumph of the individual. They sing of hope. I mean, that's just to remind you that, I mean, I love birdsong. I'm very lucky because we live by the sea and we've got lots of trees around us. And certainly in summer, dawn chorus can be deafening. It's absolutely beautiful. But I love birdsong. I really do. But how many times, sorry, that shouldn't be happening really with my new phone case. Might look like being on the screen. Sally, mine's a tour. I know, didn't you? Do you remember that? So Melanie, I love listening to the birds and the conker collects, and it's a must do for kids and adults. It really is. But yeah, listen to the birds, listen to the bird song, look up, don't forget to look out in nature. Another thing that I do every year, like as well as looking for the conkers at this time of year, at the beginning of spring, I'm always really moved. I know this sounds ridiculous, by the buds on the hedgerows, the hedgerows, the thorn bushes that line all the roads and stuff and the fields and paths. You can just see right through them because they've lost all the leaves. But in the beginning of spring, when all the bright green buds are just starting to open, you can still see through them, but they've got that beautiful bright green tinge to them. And it just gives me a whoosh every time. Every year, I just think, oh, spring is coming and what's it going to be like? What we're going to do this summer? What's going to happen? What's the weather going to be like? What am I going to achieve? What we're going to do as a sort of that sort of stuff. I love it. I know it sounds a bit daft. And autumn, finding that conker signals the end of that period for me. And then you just think, right now, the darker nights are coming. And I don't understand. Well, I do, obviously, because it's a scientific thing, isn't it, to do with lack of daylight. But a lot of people do get the seasonal affective disorder, and you can feel a bit lower at this time of year because now today it's just grey. It's not cold, but with no sun, not any sun due. It's just grey cloud, but white cloud. So it feels really quite heavy and oppressive. And so I get that compared to a lovely sunny day, but you get lovely sunny days in winter. But why write off 6 months of the year just because there's not as much daylight? So some people physically do suffer, but a lot of us just think we do. I think, oh, I don't like the dark mornings. I love getting up and going for a walk and a run in the dark when it's really cold and you get your head torch on and you come back and you've got all the stuff on your cheeks. I really like that. So it's just a reminder not to write it off just because autumn's here and winter's coming. And yes, the daylight hours are going to be a lot less, but nothing ever lasts. And can you imagine if I would hate to be in summer all the time? I would. I love the changing seasons. So it's just a reminder really today. And how's that for a look at me? I've not even been 10 minutes. So it's just a reminder to notice. What can you notice today? Do you know what? You might be thinking, oh, I live in the middle of London, so I'll just notice lots of people. There's still birds in London. I've seen them because I was surprised. You might just notice a dog turd on the pavement that somebody's not cleaned up, and that might do your head in. But notice nature. Are there any leaves left on the trees? There are. Have you noticed how some trees have already lost the leaves and others, and I don't mean the evergreen ones, but some that are going to lose the leaves, hold on to them for a lot longer. I love how all the birch hedges just go brown and they hold on to those till spring. And we have one in my mum and dad's garden, and it fascinates me every year that it just keeps its leaves. How does that know how to keep its leaves? And all the others let them go. But it keeps its brown leaves until the new ones come out, and then that's what gets rid of the leaves. And all of a sudden, overnight, the leaves have gone. It's incredible. But it's all nature, and it's all happening around us all the time, regardless of what we're going through, regardless of whether you didn't like the new series of Bake Off, regardless of whether you had a row with Julie at work, regardless of whether you've put 2 stone on, regardless of whether you've just got a promotion or lost your job, regardless of all those things going on in your life, the circle of life and nature continues on. And I just think it's fascinating. And I just don't think enough of us choose to notice it happening, choose to notice the tide coming in and going out, choose to notice the formation of the clouds one day. And instead of going, oh, it's bloody cloudy, like now I can see out of this window, there's it's all grey, but there's a white line above a grey cloud, but there's no blue, and it's quite bright, so it's got the promise that the sun could come out. And just to see the clouds, and you get some low level clouds that you can see moving really quickly. And I imagine being on a plane above them, that beautiful blue sky with the white fluffiness. They're never grey beneath, are they? It's always lovely white and fluffy. So, oh my God, Wendy, how exciting. She found a hedgehog and babies in a shed yesterday. It made my day. That's just amazing. Billy Jane loves the colours. It is wonderful. So when you're driving or walking, great point, Billy Jane, you look at all the different colours of the brown and green on the trees and reds. And it only lasts for a week or two, so don't forget to notice it. Oh, look at Sandra's put a top tip on for you, Jane. I think about spiders. Yeah, Caroline, I think the trees are keeping the leaves a lot longer, but also I've noticed, Edwina told me this, font of all knowledge, there's a problem with trees that aren't well established yet. They're all shriveling up from the top down because they're short of water, because people don't tend to water the trees. They'll water the hanging baskets, but not the trees. And they're desperate for water, so they're dying. Oh, it's sunny in Dorset. Lovely. How beautiful. Enjoy your holiday, Vanessa, and spend the day, Vanessa, noticing. Vanessa, that's my challenge for you today. What can you notice? Are you by the sea? The way the wind affects the trees. When you're by the sea, you can see, or wherever, if you're in a field, you can see which way the wind normally blows, because the way the trees are bent, it's just amazing. Lovely smells, cool air rising and warm air dropping, and the best sunsets. I mean, this is fabulous, people. So just Gemma and a granddaughter Evie, 19 months, listening to Sally engrossed. Good morning, Evie. Good morning. I wonder what they notice. Evie won't be worrying about what a mate said at nursery or this, that and the other. They just don't, as children, as babes. It's only as adults that as older children and adults, we start to become all self-conscious and start thinking, they think that, so I shouldn't do that. And, they notice everything. Evie will be noticing everything. So why not go back to that today? Just notice, notice, notice. When you're in traffic, notice the elderly lady walking along the pavement with her shopping. And I wonder what sort of life has she had? Where does she live? I wonder what she's got for a tea in that bag. And I just look at the way she's bothered to do her hair in the morning. And I find it fascinating, just noticing. Karen, stunning sunsets over our coast this week. All shades of orange and red. It really is beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite. Ebby says it's sunny in Liverpool. So let's have a look. Oh, so we've got somebody, Paper Punch, listening from a windy Scotland. But notice the wind. Notice what it does to the trees. I mean, there's a little sapling tree. My neighbour's out there, and it's just a little breeze. But to see the difference between that and one of the bigger trees when it's windy, I just find it amazing just to notice the moss growing on neighbours' roof tiles. It's just, just notice. Spend today noticing. Claire, absolutely. I'm using the circle of life and the present to help me cope with my dear mum failing quickly. Bless you, Claire. And it is, and if she's of a decent age, Claire, I know it doesn't make any difference. I lost my dad a couple of years ago, but one thing I do say to myself, it is a circle of life problems, stuff that is meant to happen. And it helps me, that it really does. Like my children leaving home, my dad was 84 when he passed away, and I'd rather have had him for another 10 years. Of course I would. But, they're not supposed to die when they're 48. So Jane, that is the best thing. Sorry, Claire, it's the best thing you can do is stay in the present. Stay really in the present and notice. And because all you have is right now. So sunny in St Helens. Look at this. That's not far. It's only about an hour away from us. So you're all noticing sunny, crisp, windy. It is. So keep noticing. So that's it for today. 15 minutes or less. And Marie Pritchard's not on to give me a clap because she'd be well impressed. Oh, because she often clocks the time. All right then. There's a burp into my hand. Did you notice that? Right. Might see you tomorrow. Probably will. Ta-ta. Oh, don't forget, Tribe's open for 2 days next week. I've not even put the link on today. I forgot. Never mind. Doesn't matter. All right then. Cheerio. Bye. That's Instagram gone. So Tribe, I'll see you in 2 minutes in the Tribe for some fitness. How do you fancy a cheeky core workout? All right then. I might do that. So no jumping around. We'll do core today. All right. Lots of love and I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe. Ta-ta.